Well, good afternoon, YouTube. I wanted to make this video, but before I do, I wanted to say this. If you are a parent or a guardian of a child or children, and you are not doing what you can to protect them, ensure their safety, ensure that their cleanliness and all the home is structured properly, you ain't shit. Period. Bottom line. If you're letting someone you're in a relationship with do things to your child, you ain't shit either. If you an enabler of people doing something to your children, you ain't shit. Now that's my disclaimer for this. But what I wanted to come and talk about is I started to do a video last night, or just give my thoughts. I don't even really call these videos. This is just me recording, just sharing my thought with you. But for those of you who don't know, in Fairfield, California, sometime yesterday, I believe, or day before, 9 children were removed from the home. Well, actually, I'll take that back. 6 weeks ago is when the investigation had started. But these 9 children had been removed from a home in Fairfield, California. Now, it was a couple, and they're married. The man's name is Jonathan Allen. He's 29. Her name is Ina Rogers. She's 30. They have 10 children, or 11. I've heard 2 different stories, but the article I read, it said the count was up to 10, excuse me. Anyways, the investigation started when the mother, Ina Rogers, 30, called authorities to report her 12-year-old son was missing. So the authorities, of course, did what they did. They found her son. When they brought her son back to the home, they say they discovered that the kids were living in basically squalor. Trash, feces, and all other type of stuff was all over the floor. Now, if you've seen the news clip or the news video footage, you could see in the bathroom, all around the toilet and everything was just all kind of, I don't know what it was. It didn't look good. They also said it was like big piles of rubbish and trash all in the way. Well, she is out. She's been charged with child neglect. Now, here's the kicker. She's out on $10,000 bail. Now, when I saw the video or the press conference, I saw a man standing in behind her. And she was talking about how good her husband is. And he may look like a bad guy. And he's got a lot of tattoos and stuff. So when I'm looking at the guy behind her, I'm like, damn, I don't see any tattoos. Why won't she let her husband talk? Apparently, evidently, it wasn't her husband, but they walked off holding hands. So I don't know if that was her husband's brother, if it was maybe her brother or whatnot. But he is in jail now. Now he's being charged with 9 felony counts of torture and 6 felony counts of abuse. Child abuse. His bail is $5.2 million. Now, these children range, I guess their age range, it can't be that the 12-year-old is the oldest. But then again, you never know. Because it said they range from as young as 4 months. Now, some of this abuse has been going on since 2014 to let the children tell it once the authorities had custody of them. Allegations of being shot with pellet guns, burns and bruises and all of this type of stuff. And this particular woman, I'm still flabbergasted of the wife saying, my husband is a good man and he's very nice and I'm a good mother and all of this. See, they better be glad it wasn't me that was the judge, because her ass wouldn't even be out on the street, period. Her ass would be locked up. She don't need a fucking bail. And see, every time some of these women get out here and accost their own children the way that they're doing, and then they smacking them on the wrist and giving them bail and letting them go out here, or letting these women sleep with these kids in these schools, and they giving them bail, it's setting the path open for other women to do as such. And they're going to feel like that they don't even have to pay any type of anything. I just find this to be just totally and utterly just ridiculous. And so the Solano County prosecutor, her name is Sharon Henry, basically said that they were doing it for sadistic purposes against these children. And then she went on to say something along the lines of how it made her feel as a parent because she has children and everything like that. Now, I don't need basically white folks to speak on how melanated children and things are being treated. But it is going to be interesting to see how this particular case is going to be treated versus the one that we just had a few weeks ago or a couple of months ago when it was the 13 children. Now, already when they had the man and the married couple of that other case, their defense had fixed it to where when the television reporters came in, you couldn't see the shackles on them, and it changed. Why not? Black people been shackled up and changed was in them for hundreds of years. Shit. Even within the last 50 years, somebody's done recorded or took pictures of somebody being lynched and killed. But back to what I was saying, I don't really understand what's wrong with some of our women today. Now, I really couldn't call out if she was exactly black, or she could have been Latin, or she could have been a mixture of both. I'm going to just say my melanated people. I don't understand what's wrong with you. You sit up on your ass, you 30 years old, you have damn near a dozen kids. You claim to be his wife, but his last name is different than yours. That's dumb shit number one. Dumb shit number two is, at what number child when you had it, did you realize this was going to be overwhelming to you? Was it number 5? Was it number 6, 7, 8? I'm willing to bank all these children might not even be the man that's in jail. That's another strike. Then when I saw the inside of the house, that was another strike. You got all these kids, but you can't keep a fucking clean house. Lazy, sorry. And she's lazy because she doesn't have anything clean or attempting to clean. And what makes her sorry is she didn't make some of the kids that was old enough to teach them how to keep that shit clean. See, this is the problem. And then you still got dudes that'll get in line and lay down with that tramp. Lay down with this sorry ass, slovenly ass woman. And people wonder why I'm single to this day, because I don't have time for that. But I'm not complaining about no dating type of thing, because I don't worry about that. But it's stuff like this. It makes people look bad as a collective. Even though that was an individual situation, they're going to put her in a group. They're going to group her in him with other people that look like them and say, this is what they do. This is how they treat their children. Watch how this blows up and take fire. I just can't believe it. $10,000 bail and she's out walking around in the streets. They say other charges are going to be brought up against her. Well, if you're going to bring up other charges, what the fuck did you let her go for? They didn't let him go. But I'm going to tell you the reason why he's still locked up and she isn't. Because no matter how much her mother enabled that shit to go on, some of them children was crying and standing by next to their mother, even though they mama is the cause of that shit going down.